I want to know, it looks like there's still a lot of you out there. Are you ready to see this main event? I don't think those fighters heard you in back. Are you ready for this main event? Here we go. First up, welcome to the cage, Jason Witt.
Chris, getting our crowd pumped up here at Monona Terrace. Another sellout at the Monona Terrace here tonight, and everyone looking forward to Jason Witt versus Mark Lemminger. Witt, one of the more experienced fighters, actually he's the most experienced fighter that Mark Lemminger has ever faced, and this is one serious dude. Jason Witt coming in with a professional record of 12-4. He has fought in Bellator. This is a guy that if Mark Lemminger can beat, that it will really propel the career of Mark. So, wow, everybody looking forward to this one as Jason Witt making his way into the cage, getting checked out right now as we take a look at the Carbon World Health tail of the tape. Lemminger a slight height advantage. Lemminger also coming in a little bit lighter than Jason Witt as he was just under 175 at 174.6, but that's where you want to be. Getting heavy, getting strong at the right time. If you're Mark Lemminger, we will see if that's going to translate against a very tough and experienced opponent in Jason Witt. All right, there's Jason Witt. Here comes Mark.
Mark Lemminger.
If you cannot call this man the people's champion, I don't know who else you would give that designation to. Lemminger loved by virtually everybody here in the house tonight, and why not? He trains over at the Chosen Few Gym from Johnson Creek right down the road, and everybody in between absolutely loves watching Lemminger fight. Undefeated so far. He is 7-0 as a professional, an unblemished amateur career as well. Recently on the sports news and confident in this fight is one Mark Lemminger. His family, his friends, his fans here to cheer him on as he heads up to the cage. Let's head back to Chris Garrity and the start of Lemminger Witt, our main event here for Chosen Few Fighting Championship number 13.
This bout is brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Madison and sanctioned by the Department of Safety and Professional Services Program Director, Mr. Adam Burkhalter. Your cage-side physician for this bout, Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. Your judges, Larry Struck, Gabe Sabatis, and Rick Winter. With timekeeper Micah Coppice and the man in charge of this main event, ladies and gentlemen, veteran referee Tom DeVellis. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the CFFC Super Welterweight Division. Introducing first, this man fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison, blue corner. He stands at 5'10" tall. He weighed at 174.5 pounds. He has an impressive record, 12 victories, 4 defeats. 6 of those victories come by way of submission. Representing Glory Mixed Martial Arts and fighting out of Kansas City, Kansas, the Vanilla Gorilla, Jason Witt. His opponent is this man, fighting out of the Coliseum Bar, red corner. He hails from Johnson Creek, Wisconsin, and represents the Chosen Few Gym. He is undefeated, 7 bouts, 7 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 174 and 1/2 ready pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Lemminger!
Wow, listen to that crowd, and I tell you what a dichotomy in sound between the ovation for the two fighters. Referee with the final instructions for them, and as accomplished as a fighter as Jason Witt was when he was announced by Chris Garrity, nary a clap for him. It was one of the most deafeningly silent applauses for Jason Witt, followed by a thunderous round of applause for Mark Lemminger, the crowd squarely in the champion's corner.
And here's what I'm going to tell you about that, Rich. Veteran fighters love it. They love going in and being the spoiler. My brother was a professional fighter, fought in the UFC, was on The Ultimate Fighter. His favorite fight's the one where he walked in the hometown. It was silent as a ghost when they announced his name. He took his belt and went home.
It was just strange when you announced Witt. I mean, nobody wanted to clap for fear that someone might get mad at them for clapping. I mean, that's how squarely people are in the corner of Lemminger, who gets taken down right away.
Have you seen that in any of Lemminger's fights? The Vanilla Gorilla is the real deal. Here's where we're going to see Lemminger tested.
One of the things that I've heard coming into this all along is that, hey, Lemminger is known for his wrestling skills. Witt might be a better wrestler than Lemminger. So that is something that I was intrigued by right away when I heard that.
12 victories in the Vanilla Gorilla's career. He has fought at the highest levels here in the United States. Really one more step to go, which would be a UFC berth. He's fought in other major organizations. All 12 wins, big wins. He is a submission specialist. Half of his victories are submissions, Rich. Yeah, Lemminger hasn't seen anybody like this before, so that's why I love this. I wish it wasn't a 3-round fight. I would really love to see this go into championship rounds. Maybe someday it will with these two guys, depending on how it goes here. But right now, Jason Witt's playing his game. He hasn't done any damage yet. So Lemminger's doing a good job keeping his hands in. He's also been landing some shots off his back. We know how brute strong Lemminger is, so we'll see how much energy he has to expend to keep Witt from landing a lot of damage here.
You know, you talked about those extra rounds, and I was talking with Patrick Delgado, who fought Lemminger the last time and took him into the 4th round. He was saying that actually the shorter fight might favor Lemminger. He was telling me that before the fight, and so that possibly could be that the longer the fight goes, maybe Lemminger's conditioning comes into question. He thinks that's the one way to beat Lemminger.
And that's the difference in some fighters' muscle. As you see, Witt has a lot of muscle, but it's loose muscle. There really is no fat on Lemminger whatsoever.
Right.
The lactic acid is going to build up a lot faster in Lemminger. So, I mean, it's just science in general, and nature in general, really, is just going to cause Lemminger to tire a little fast, even no matter how conditioned a fighter he is. Now, as he gets older, as the muscle does get more loose, he gets a little more fat content on the body, his body chemistry will change. So it's not always going to be that way. But as a younger fighter, that's almost something that goes against you when you're in as good a shape as Lemminger, as crazy as that sounds.
And it does sound crazy right here. The crowd trying to come to life and spur Mark Lemminger on. They'd love to see him get out of this, get on his feet, and or get in control here. The crowd looking for any reason to get behind their champion.
Well, he really needs to get this back to guard so he can hopefully look for an escape, either a stand-up or a reversal or something. He's been stuck in Witt's half guard this whole time. So it's basically just lets Witt rain down whatever he wants with that left hand. Even though Lemminger's fighting really well with his hands, this is tiring Lemminger out from the bottom, and he's taking damage while doing it.
Absolutely. 3.5 minutes of this is going to take its toll, and that's where we're at in the round right now. It has been Jason Witt who has been in control so far. Again, the crowd trying to get Mark up right now as we get a Let's Go Mark chant. Not a lot to cheer for so far as Lemminger in a bit of trouble here against Jason Witt. Not so much trouble, but scoring-wise, it is Witt who is taking this first round.
And you're starting to see the damage take its toll around the eye socket of Mark Lemminger, especially on that right side. We've seen him cut before in fights, and some of those cuts were pretty bad. So I'm sure that's one of the things that Witt is looking at when he watched any of Mark's previous fights. He knows that the damage can take its toll, and you know, the cuts get bad enough. The referee's got to take in, stop and take a look at, especially if it's bleeding into the eyes. So he's doing the right thing here. Quick elbows, short punches. I don't know what the referee, I don't know if he was covering his mouth or fingers in the wrong place, but I saw Tom actually slap away Jason's hand, so I'd be curious to know what he was actually doing there.
Yeah, we've seen a broken nose from Lemminger, that courtesy of the Super fight. We have seen him bleed in his last couple of fights right here, and right now trying to stave off the attack of Jason Witt, who's getting a couple shots here right before the end of the round, using a good right hand to get some damage to the face of Lemminger. Round one goes to the experienced Jason Witt. Mark Lemminger seeing something he's never seen before in a guy like Jason Witt.
If Jason Witt's corner was writing the book on how to fight Mark Lemminger, he followed the book word for word. This is exactly what he did. Went in, took him down, and basically sat in half guard and threw down damage the whole time.
We take a look at the
what
action
is
from
Lemminger's
round
corner
number
telling
one.
him? He's got one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in Wisconsin in Kane Rizzo, and one of the higher experienced fighters, Damian Decora, with over 50 professional fights. If he listens to him, he can win this fight. He can get on top, rain down damage. If not, who knows? Jason Witt is an experienced, smart fighter. I love the way he fought this first round so far.
It'll be interesting to see what Lemminger can do in round two. How important is it that Lemminger is the one at the start of this round to get the takedown instead of Witt?
3-round fight, Rich. If he lets Jason on top, he's not getting back up. Very important.
Here we go, round number two, and an important start to this round right now. We'll see what Lemminger can do. Left there by Witt, was able to evade it, got Witt off balance as well. Who's going to get that all-important takedown and get in control here in the second round?
I want Lemminger to have a little bit more distance. He's longer than Witt, and I think he can have a little bit more distance with him right now. He's almost too close. You can see that Witt is about to set up the takedown if he can. He just keeps faking. Do you see what he'll do? He'll fake a lunge, throw a kick, fake a lunge, throw a punch. Eventually, Mark's going to think it's a punch, and then Jason's going to go in for the takedown.
Right,
so I would like to see Lemminger keep a little bit more distance, use his kicks like Damian was telling me before the fight. It can stop Witt from coming in at him, especially if you throw, front kicks, straight kicks, push kicks. It keeps those wrestlers away from you. I haven't seen a great kick yet out of Lemminger, so this is something he needs to start doing.
Kick there by Witt, misses, goes for the takedown and got him.
And he didn't feint that time, and look, easy double leg takedown for Witt.
So Witt now using his body pushes Mark Lemminger up against the cage right in front of us here, and Lemminger in a position that's going to be tough to get out of.
Now what Lemminger can do here is use the cage to work his way back up, but if you see the way Witt has his arms locked back, well, he had them locked, they're not anymore, but when he had them locked, he could pull him away from the cage. But Lemminger's doing a good job here. He's not allowing Witt to get control, and hopefully what he can do is use the cage to stand back up. But again, Witt is a crafty veteran. He just keeps grabbing him under the knee, under the ankles. Oh, here we go. Can he work his way up? Nope. Again, savvy veteran he's fighting here.
Witt using his weight, using his feet, everything that he can to keep Lemminger down right now. Lemminger trying to get back up once again, and once again he is denied, but now he's back on his feet, but it might not be for long.
Good job, though, from Lemminger. He knows, and obviously listened to his corner. He's like, you can't get on your back. Now, again, great job from Witt getting him down again, and this is more and more what's going to tire Lemminger out, and the least he'll be able to, or the little he'll be able to defend it as the fight goes on. So he's going to try and have to do something here. He's looking for a guillotine here. Witt did the right thing, try to step over with his left foot, or left knee.
And now Lemminger back up again as a good elbow there by Witt, and then a good right hand by Lemminger, and that dazed Witt just for a second, and enough to get Lemminger back to the center of the cage.
Great job from Lemminger to get himself out of danger. His face is really starting to show it at this point. He's starting to breathe a little bit heavy. You can see his midsection, the way it's going in and out. He is getting tired here. He's going to have to do something to win this round.
That left eye of Lemminger swelling up just a little bit. He's got a goose egg right above it there, courtesy of an elbow from Jason Witt.
And look at the angles Witt throws from. First he slaps the hand down and then throws a left. Then he feints with the right and throws a left body. I mean, just different angles he's coming with that Lemminger hasn't seen before.
Good combination from Witt there, and Lemminger answers with the left hand.
Now this is where Witt needs to be careful because Lemminger has been extremely close to landing a few fight-ending shots here on the chin. So again, Witt has to just keep his wits against him, using his last name. And
what a witty comment.
Really did what he did in the first round. And look, right there, he didn't set up the takedown and almost caught.
Yeah, he almost caught an uppercut that might have ended the fight right there. We know Lemminger is capable of doing that.
So what Witt can't do is panic right now. You need to do what you did at the beginning of this round, entire first round, set up the takedown. But I think he's also felt some of the power of Lemminger here, so it's getting him a little antsy in his pantsy.
Inside of 60 seconds for the second round, a good left by Lemminger as he is scoring by standing upright and striking with Witt. Witt again trying to do some feinting. He does everything to set up that takedown.
And this is where Lemminger's stand-up training they did for this fight is showing. He's keeping at a great distance right now, not really getting caught flush with anything Witt's throwing, and he's landing a few himself.
Inside of 30 seconds now. Lemminger looking to land a couple blows here, maybe to sway the judges over to his side. Big right from Witt, just missed. Lands a left, though, into the cheek of Lemminger.
Now Lemminger's hunting him a little bit here.
Good
and
left,
he lands a good
and
left
he
there.
knocks him down. The crowd comes to life. Lemminger leaning down, right hands to the side of the face. He smashes his opponent to the side of the cage. The crowd on their feet. What a finish to round number 2.
And that is the comeback Lemminger needed to take control of this fight. That was anybody's round up to that point. Really it was, even though Witt had control of the first part, that knockdown might reign huge in the judges' minds.
Let's take a look at the replays here from round number 2 and the good finish by Mark Lemminger as a left hand knocked Witt to the mat. And I think, boy, not only did it bring the crowd to life, it brought Mark Lemminger to life.
It's got to be killing him, though, that he's got to sit here for a minute and let Witt recover, because the way he took him down and slammed him, Witt still haven't fully recovered from that.
Yep.
So it's almost too bad for Lemminger. He didn't have a little more time. So we'll see if they got Witt back together here. He looks okay. His knees doesn't look like they're shaking too much. Mouth open, breathing a little bit heavy. We'll see here.
Round number 3, here we go. The crowd is amped. We hope you are at home as well. Along with Chris Garrity, I'm Rich Reynolds, ringside. Round number 3, the main event, Lemminger and Witt. Lemminger looking to go to 8-0, but this has been his toughest opponent to date.
If I'm Witt, I'm throwing the right hand. I'm setting up an overhand right. Lemminger's eye on that side is almost closed. It's going to be tough for him to see anything coming. If I'm Lemminger, you look great at the end of that round stand-up wise. I'd keep doing what you're doing, but you have to protect the left side of your face.
Another good left by Lemminger, knocked Witt back a couple of steps. I think now he's a little bit more aware of the power shots that Lemminger can land.
This is the most confidence I've seen in Lemminger in a third round, and he looks great. So this is the type of stuff I was wondering about him. If you're fighting a guy with a lot of experience, or even a guy that you weren't able to finish in those first couple rounds, how's your attitude in the cage? And right here, he looks great. He looks confident, although he did just take 2 big shots. He's hurt, Rich.
Yes, he is. Witt now with the advantage with a combination. He has hurt Lemminger. Lemminger backing up, trying to stay alive right now. And Witt continues to come after him. Down goes Lemminger. Here comes Witt, raining down shots. Lemminger trying to stay alive with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Mark Lemminger is in trouble.
And this is where those overhands took their toll. He landed at least 4 of them completely flush, and he is still in a lot of trouble here.
And now the blood coming off the face of Lemminger. Lots of left from Witt.
Referee's going to have to step in here. Yeah,
that's it. It's over. He couldn't take any more abuse. Jason Witt silences the hometown crowd, and he did it not as a wrestler, but as a striker.
Not one, but 2 comebacks in that fight. Lemminger came back in the set round, had in the 3rd round all the confidence in the world going into it, and then the veteran Jason Witt got his 13th victory by landing some monster overhands and finishing the fight. The referee was not going to let Lemminger take any more punishment.
He couldn't. It was a good stoppage, and man, oh man, the crowd in shock right now and definitely disappointed, but still proud of their champion, Mark Lemminger, who falls for the first time in his career as his record goes to 7-1. All right, we will take a break, come back for the decision here in our main event here at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 13 on 57 Sports. Man, ton of action in this fight. All Witt in the first round. Lemminger coming back and nearly finishing the fight in round number 2. But here in round number 3, Jason Witt caught Mark Lemminger. As you see him now on the replay, taking advantage, raining down blows. Lemminger doing everything to stay alive, but he just couldn't. The referee had to stop the fight as Witt got back up on his feet along with Lemminger, and Witt was able to finish it with some strong left hands as the Dr. Nestor Rodriguez right now still checking out Mark Lemminger. As you see the ref coming in and stopping the fight. That was a real good stoppage, actually, as Mark fought valiantly, but that fight needed to be stopped right there as he was sustaining a lot of damage from a very strong, savvy veteran who has fought at the top levels. Here we go.
The end of this bout comes in 1 minute 38 seconds of round number 3. For your winner by knockout, the Vanilla Gorilla, Jason Witt.
Jason Witt victorious here tonight, despite not having a fan in his corner, as we take a listen to him now.
I would call at least a hometown underdog, fighting a guy that has half the crowd here, but you are a grizzled veteran now, your 13th victory in the cage as a professional. How did you feel coming in, especially as kind of a last-minute replacement?
I felt great, honestly. I just fought about a month ago. I knew that dude was tough, 7-0, but I knew what our training has been, what we've been working on, and I knew what I've been doing is just on a different level than a lot of the people, no offense to him, but we're just on a different level.
Now, you dominated most of the first round, but when he came out in the second round with his stand-up after he got up and you had him in the corner over here, it looked like he had gotten some confidence on his feet, landed some good shots. Did he ever have you in any trouble in that second round?
I lost focus at the end of that second round. James Crowd said don't let him in the fight, and you know what, I let him in the fight, so that third round I had to come out. I was tired, but you know, we worked through it, got that victory. That's all that matters.
Congratulations, impressive victory. Anything else you want to say?
Winners win. Thank you, Power Plus Mouth Guard. Thank you. A bunch of other sponsors, I can't think of their fucking names, but excuse my language, but thank you so much.
You bet. Another round of applause for your winner, Jason Witt. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out this evening. Without you, we cannot put this show on. We appreciate it.
As we wrap up our main event.
All right, here with Jason Witt, who took down the hometown favorite, I would say, but you know, Mark Lemminger, a tough opponent. We've seen him here for the people who've watched his shows and a few fights in the past, but this was a fight that you were not originally on the card, so kind of a last-minute deal. What was the mindset? What's the preparation like?
I was kind of already prepared. You know, I fought December 15th of last year, so quick turnaround for me. 3 weeks notice. I knew it was going to be a tough fight. I really did. I knew he was 7-0, big guy. He's going to be a lot taller than me, probably a lot bigger than me. And I'm okay with that. You know what? I'm on a different level than I have been. I'm on a 5-fight win streak, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know when I walk in that cage, it's going to be a tough fight no matter who it is.
So you go and you slay the proverbial dragon in his own backyard, crowd favorite. You hand him his first professional loss, but you've also had some great experience. So how did that prepare you coming in? And maybe kind of to leapfrog off your last question.
You know, I've had experience in being the hometown favorite, or beating the hometown favorite, or I should say. I went to Canada on 3 weeks' notice, and I beat their #1 prospect, knocked him out in a minute. I've been to Arkansas. I beat their prospect, first round submission. So I'm used to going to other people's homes and coming out the victory. And, you know, James Krause said it best. He's like, another silent crowd. And I don't mean that disrespectful, but that's just the way it is. Like, nobody expects me to walk in here and beat their hometown favorite, and that's what I'm good at. I deal good with those pressure.
Well, we did a lot of our research before the fight, and we were hearing, like, hey, watch out for the Jason Witt. I mean, he's got some experience coming in, and obviously with, you know, all that entails. You had round one seemed like you were in control for most of that. Second round, it was kind of, you weren't sure where the decision was going to be on that one. And then round three, obviously you did your thing and knocked out Mark. But what was it, you know, in round two, was there any trouble in your mind? Are you thinking about what you were going to need to do to take control?
Absolutely. I knew it was a little bit of trouble, but nothing I've never been through. I've been through situations like that 100 times. My coach said it best, hey, we just need to refocus. That was all. I literally lost a little bit of focus in the end of that second round, and that was a big mistake I made, and obviously I paid for it. But I come out of into that third round focused and ready to go, and I knew it was going to be a tough round, but I knew if I put the pressure on him and did what I knew I could do, the outcome was going to be the way it was.
Well, true professionals, you can tell by the suit. Congratulations
on
the win, and we hope to see you on more of these chosen few fights on 57 Sports.
Appreciate it. Thank you.